What's up everyone? Very busy week currently, so I'm going to keep this video short and sweet. I wanted to pop on here and let you guys know what I'm thinking about Pokemon Legends ZA so far. So think of this video as a first impressions. I'm quite a few hours in, but I just want to give you my thoughts. I have some gripes with it, as expected, but honestly, I think people are being a little too harsh on this one. Is it a perfect game? Absolutely not. Is it up to the standard that we should hold Pokemon companies to? No, probably not. But at the core, it's a new and fun Pokemon game. And it's a Pokemon game that is also trying something very new and very risky in my opinion. So real quick before we get into it, I just want to say thank you so much for getting us past 1,000 subscribers. I can't thank y'all enough for the support. This YouTube thing is so fun and I love connecting with people who enjoy gaming as much as I do. So if you like talking gaming as much as me, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos. So let's pour up a coffee and get into it. Pokemon Legends ZA is a very different Pokemon game, and in many different ways. First of all, the combat has changed up drastically. It is no longer turn-based, it's real-time action, and it's much faster than before. Personally, I like this combat a lot, and it's very satisfying when you can pull off a combo of moves and absolutely decimate your opponent in like under a minute. The combat is simple with a lock-on, and the 4 moves are synced to the 4 buttons. The moves have cooldowns, and there's dodging, so this all makes combat pretty interesting. If you enjoy faster-paced gaming, you'll love this. This helps make this game more accessible to busier people. I can turn on the Switch, put the work on like 10 trainers, catch a few Pokemon, and it's probably only been a half an hour. It's very friendly to the low-commitment gaming lifestyle that I like to talk about so much. The other elephant in the room is that the game takes solely in a big city. Lumiose City to be specific. Although it does seem pretty limited to where you can go and the type of scenery that is available, which can be a pretty big bummer, I feel like they did capture the city vibe pretty well. As everyone's probably heard already, the buildings do not look very good. They're pretty much JPEG images and completely flat. But I do feel like the rest is pretty good to look at. At the end of the day, this is a Pokemon game. I personally don't need the upscaled super graphical environments, but I understand that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company are massive and they should definitely be held to a higher standard. And the game also runs perfectly on the Switch 2. I cannot speak on the Switch 1 version for I have not tried it yet, but if flat buildings means good performance, I'll take the performance. The thing I do appreciate about the game taking place in one big city is that it hasn't really been done before, at least not to this scale. But they kinda nailed the vibe. It does really remind me of a European country. I've never been to Paris, which the city is supposed to be modeled after, but this game really reminds me of my trip to Italy. It's got the cobblestone walkways, the alleys, and all the piazzas and the communal gatherings that European countries really cherish. And there's tons of coffee in this game. Like almost every cutscene, somebody's drinking coffee, and I love coffee, so I love that. It's like me. I can't get enough of coffee. There's no such thing as too much coffee. It's so relaxing and cozy, and the soundtrack is honestly probably my favorite part of this game. It's insane. If you like lo-fi or coffee house jazz, you will love this soundtrack. Anyways though, back to the gameplay. You get to pick from Tepig, Totodile, or Chikorita. I picked Chikorita simply because it's the correct choice. Fight me down in the comments if you disagree. And you start your journey of meeting new friends and starting a new Pokemon adventure. And the adventure in this game is participating in the ZA Royale, which is the trainer battling competition held within the city. The story is pretty good so far, and it introduces Mega Evolution in a cool and unique new way. And I actually really like the characters. Each of them has their own very specific personality, and each feels like a person that I know in real life. If I'm like any of them, I'm like Old AZ. He just wants to vibe and live in his cozy hotel. And that hotel is called Hotel Z, which serves as your player's home base. It's super aesthetic, and it actually gives off the vibe of a European hostel. You eat meals with your friends, hang out in communal areas, and you really only come back to go to sleep and wake up the next day. It really is spot on here, and I can't get enough of it. Catching Pokemon is a bit strange. It's a lot like Legends Arceus, so it's pretty solid, but the wild zones are where the game really lags. You can still find Pokemon outside the wild zones, but they're few and far between. The wild zones aren't too bad to look at or run through. The only problem is they're way too small. Coming from Scarlet and Violet where the map was just enormous, finding a small wild zone with only like 4 to 5 Pokemon in it, lackluster. You can also obtain quite a few Pokemon through quests and side quests, which I think is a pretty interesting decision, but I found all the missions to be quite good overall. But this game is much more battle focused than Legends Arceus. You pretty much catch Pokemon during the day in the wild zones, and then at night, the ZA Royale opens up in one part of the city, and that's where you go to battle trainers, and rank up as well. Legends Arceus was mainly about catching Pokemon, so it makes sense that one that takes place in a city is more about battling. It's not a bad thing, it's just more different than we're used to. The story is typical Pokemon in terms of battling and ranking up in the world. Gyms have been replaced with ranking up in the ZA tournament. You battle enough trainers and then you get to participate in a promotion match, which are unique individual trainer battles that are actually pretty good. And they added trash talk. I'm about it. Feels more like the old anime with this detail added. The new Mega Evolutions are kind of a mixed bag. Some are really cool and some are absolute abominations. My favorite one has the Mega Starmie. It is an abomination, but in all the best ways. It almost looks like one of the Reggies. I don't want to spoil it here, but if you're curious, just look that one up if you need a good laugh. It's great. One thing I'm not too happy about is them locking some of the Mega Evolutions behind the online service. It's not very difficult to obtain them, and it's not too time consuming, but the multiplayer mode in this game is just, it's rough. I see what they were going for with a 4-player free-for-all, but it's super clunky, and honestly, it's just a cluster of moves on the screen. Half the time I have no idea what's going on. Sometimes I get absolutely destroyed, and sometimes I somehow do good, and I'm really not sure how. Maybe I'm just bad at it, I don't know. Either way, it's not the highlight of the game. But exploring the city is fun, and there's just so much to do. Farming the Mega Crystals around the city, catching Pokemon, completing side quests. It's by no means a dry game, it just feels undercooked from what it could have been. You never have a moment where there's nothing in front of you. If you find something that catches your eye, and you go and get it or complete it, and turn around, there'll be something else right there. There's items everywhere, you'll stumble across Pokemon in areas you didn't think they'd be. The dopamine rushes in this game are unreal, almost overwhelming. But like I said, most things are done fairly quickly, so it never really gets stale. I have been loving it so far for what it is. If anything, it makes me more excited for the mechanics that they'll employ in other Pokemon games in the future. Trying something new in a franchise that's so familiar for so long is pretty crazy. I dig the innovation, even if that means some cracks and bumps in the road. I try my best to be optimistic about games nowadays, so I would say try this one out for yourself. It's either for you or it's not for you. And for the right person, this is a fantastic Pokemon title, and it's more than worthy of a try, if you can get past the graphical factors. I know this was a shorter video this week, but if you like what I'm doing here or find any value in these videos, please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you're into videos about gaming, tech, or lifestyle. I appreciate you all tuning in, and let me know in the comments what you guys think of the game so far. What star did you pick? Is a city enough for you? Or do you need more nature in your Pokemon world? Let me know, let's talk games. So with that being said, until the next one, peace.